Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubois Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in to try to figure out some more about your dog. Today I'm going to talk about something that, I don't know. I don't know what words to use right now, but I'm just going to use the words that I know I use, and people are going to get in your feelings about the words that I use. But we're all out here trying to play with our dogs. And playing with your dog is, I'm going to say, weird and foreign. We should be working with our dogs. Our dogs should be doing some sort of work. When I introduce that word work, that's when people think and getting their feelings on, well, he should be getting paid for it. But that's what I'm going to say is weird to animals. Animals work. That's what they do. They just work. They don't expect no payment. They don't expect no nothing. They don't expect anything but just being able to have the chance to do their work. That is just what they absolutely enjoy. And yes, there are a lot of people that are alive, human beings, that look at their work the same way. It's not work. It's having fun, man. It's being able to be yourself, express who you are, being able to just do what it is that you want to do. And that's what the dogs are all about. And we're coming at them with this weird foreign play stuff. And I'm going to say weird foreign because playing fetch with some dogs is what's natural to that dog. That's what the DNA in that dog is to do. It's literally just play fetch all day. And one thing I want to talk about today is the concept of sniffing out stuff and searching out stuff and looking for stuff. And that's what my German Shepherd really likes doing. And it's something that even my Dalmatian, as much as I got a dog that I was like, I wanted a dog with no prey drive. That's why I got away from the German short-haired pointer, because they got a lot of prey drive. And Dalmatians are breed specific known to not really have much. I got one that's got a whole lot of prey drive, and she loves to search, and she loves to scan, and she loves to do this stuff. So it's something that I'm going to be playing this exact same game with her. And I guess I say game, but this is work, the same work with her. And this is something that I'll explain a little bit more how I get it set up. But today I just kind of want to just allow my dog to go and just let him do what he do, and just to show you what a dog looks like when he's working. Because work to a dog is, I'm going to say it's fun. Like, this dog can do what I'm about to do right now all day, like all day. No hiccup, no nothing. He'll just keep going and going until, and then when he's tired, he'll go get some water, hang out, and he'll be right back up to ready to go do it again with no protests, no me having to stop him, this, that, and fighting and fussing. It's just what he wants to do. And what he wants to do is something that is so basic at the end of the day that it doesn't take a lot. It's not hard to do. It's nothing complicated. It's just doing it. So what I end up doing out here is, this is the first time that I am going to have him on leash, because I just want him to do it a little bit differently. Because this is the concept of the work is not leading dogs to frustration. It's leading dogs to excitement, and they get to stay in their true level of excitement. When we're doing different types of play with them, we're getting them to that frustration. And that frustration is just, it's good for competition stuff. It's not good for a pet dog. It's not good for a hangout dog. It's not good for a dog to just take around and take it to the park. Frustration is not what we want in our dogs. Excitement is. And that level of excitement, we can, I don't like using this word, but straight up, we can control that excitement. We could tell them, hey, we're done. Hey, all done. Hey, let's stop. We could tell them all that. But frustration, it's so hard. That's where you need pressure. That's where you need treats. That's where you need extra to get them to get out of it, because they're not in it in a healthy manner. So what I'm doing out here is he's going to search for this chicken that I put out here. And I did walk a trail for him. So hopefully he walks that trail. And then he takes the whole trail all the way to the end to find what it is I'm looking for. Because he hasn't done this in a little while. And the main thing is, when he hasn't done it in a little while, I like to introduce it back slow and steady. But we're about to go for a walk right now, because I just went for a good long run. And we'll just see what he does. Kahi, go find it. And he's just going to go ahead and go. So I'm just going to allow him to be able to take the lead to do what he does. So this is the first time he's been on a harness doing what he's doing. So right here, I'm building his excitement, not building frustration. So him pulling and wanting to get to it faster and faster and trying to figure out where this thing is at, he's building just a high level of like excitement. And personally, me, I like them being on leash at first. So this is the first time in a while, years in reality, I had him on leash doing this, because he knows the game is me and him. We are doing this game together. That's why I like them on leash at first, pulling and doing what they're doing, so that he understands that this is our game. We're playing this game. So right now he's looking for this chicken. He's on a mission to go find it. And I don't have any guidelines, anything to tell him where it could possibly be, where it isn't, or any of that. He's just gonna have to figure it out. And it's interesting today, we got a really strong wind that's going against him right now. So he's gonna have to work like extra duty. So I do walk in places, and I rub it in the ground here and there, just to try to get him to know he's headed in the right direction. So when he's following my footsteps, for one, he's not on my footsteps right now, which is fine. I don't care. I want him to find the main thing that we're looking for. He might get off track right here because there's some stuff in here that he likes eating. So we got to get him back on it. Go find it. And I want him to just stay on mission. So he's going to stay on mission. And this wind is going that way. And the thing is it's way in the front of the property right now. And so now he's looking for some, what I'll say is the residual. He's just going to stay on mission. So he's going to find something up here that's going to let him know you're on the right path, man. And then for him, in reality, he can make his life easy if he does just follow my footsteps. But he's trying to do it on his own right now in his own little way. And he's gonna just have to figure it out. So there's some residual on the other side of that fence, and there's some over here. So he's on top of the one that I put right here. So now he's on a mission. He's like, I can smell a little bit of something going on here, but the whole thing isn't here. So he's just gonna sit in it for a second, recoup, rethink. And now he's like, okay, something's up here. And now he's back to rampage pulling again. So he's just gonna go to the point that the cows are all over here staring at us too. He's just gonna go until he eventually finds it. And then he's gonna sit here and take a potty break. He's not a professional athlete at this, and I don't want him to be. This is just something that is just fun, something that we just do. Not anything that I'm trying to go to competitions for or do anything. This is just something that he gets to have some fun. He just gets to let loose and just do whatever it is that he wants to do in the end. And the main thing is he knows that this is where relationship building builds on key, because we're doing this together. I set this up for him to be able to do. He knows that I set this up for him to be able to do, because we don't just come out here and just do this. I just let him go and do whatever he wants. No, it's set up. I built this for him. I made this for him. So he's looking at it like, dude, thank you for allowing me to be able to just get this drive out of me that I have. And getting the drive out in what I'm going to say is a healthy way, not in a way that is just destructive and it's out of frustration and it's out of anger. It's out of just that pure excitement that dogs like. They just have this hardcore desire to want to work for us. They want to work. That's the whole kind of the main reason that majority of dogs got close to us. We put them to work. We got them to do some work. And the work is what really gets the dogs engaged in wanting to just appreciate us, because they have these desires that they absolutely have to get out. They have to. If they don't, they go wild. And something like this, granted, I do have property, but me being on leash, you could do this anywhere in the world, because you don't need to worry about no fencing or none of that. Just have them on leash. I like the harness or a big flat collar, like at least a 2-inch size one, so that they can pull into it without having to worry about anything. And I want them to you could do this anywhere, at any time. You don't need to be daytime. It don't matter. He's not looking for it. He's smelling for it. So at any moment, any situation, you can do this. So this is something that gets the dog's drives out in a very, very healthy way, and not in a way that is destructive. And again, this is something that is fun to the dog. It may not be all that fun for me at the end of the day, but sometimes we got to do some things. And that's the part of being of any kind of pet owner, any kind of owning, any kind of livestock, anything, that you have some things you got to do. This is the part of being a parent. You got to do some stuff that you may not want to do, but you got to do it. And there's some things that we just absolutely have to get done. And when we start to just realize that, that's when things are going to start to just get better and better. So right now he's following my footsteps. He's taking the easier route, because he's like, I'm a little confused right now, but still we're nowhere near where it is that we're supposed to be going. He's just following where it is that I was walking. I was actually running it. But at first I'll show the whole, how I get this started personally, just what I do with what I understand. I did learn a lot about doing this stuff in the dog training school that I went to. And that was the most exciting part of the dog school that I did there, was getting dogs to smell stuff out, get dogs to look for things. The obedience stuff and all that, that stuff is just pointless to me. When I would see, because this how I ended up taking this dog. I didn't work this dog in the school. He was just in the kennels doing what he was doing. And I saw him do these sniff and search games and all this stuff. I was like, that is a cool dog. That is a really neat dog. And I knew that if I can be able to get him to just keep doing this more and more and more, that he would be able to get better, get closer to me, because this dog was crazy. He's still a little crazy, but this dog was crazy. So now he's right back on following exactly where it is that my footsteps are going. So this is kind of complicated to him for a second, because he's like, what the heck? Like, where are you going? Like, what's going on with this? And this is what's just, I don't know how to say it, but neat. He clearly couldn't possibly have seen, because now he's getting closer, because now he's really getting into a pull. He's doing what he's doing, and he's having a heck of a good time. He gonna take a potty break for a half a second. We'll give him that potty break for a second. he gets super excited with doing what he's doing, and he got to go do what he got to do. But he close. And sometimes, I don't know how to say this other than saying it straight up from what I've just seen, is sometimes because he's about to eat. So the sniffer searches that I personally do is he gets to eat it in the end. So I got a whole bunch of extra, and I got a whole bunch of things. And this is stuff that if you're like, I want to be able to get my dog a real meal, there's all kinds of websites out here that sell quail, frozen, sell frozen chicks, frozen chicken, frozen all this stuff that you can go ahead and get to be able to get your dog to be able to search out something real that they can actually be able to consume, as opposed to it just being a scent. I like for them to be able to find something they can consume because it just adds a whole higher level of just excitement to the game. And it's not anything that is just so super, super basic in the end. So now he's really, really close to getting to the position that he's about to find what he's about to find. And we're about to get on him. He's here to see what he's about to do. You can see it, and there it is. And he'll figure it out. He always figures it out. He always figures it out. And he about to munch on it. Don't worry, no baby chicks are hurt by him in this. I just have to do what I got to do because of my work and because of what I have going on this planet. That I got to keep on my breeding selection. And the white ones, unfortunately, didn't make the cut this year. I'm looking for the tan, what is it colored? The blue colored ones. So this is something that I do. Probably each time that I would do it, I do it about 3 or 4 times. And granted, I'm making it so we're walking for what, like 10, 11 minutes. And that 10, 11 minutes right there is something that is just absolutely just, it is just mind blowing in this dog's brain to be able to do this. This right here that I just did in 10 minutes is like me taking him for a walk for over 4 or 5 miles. And it takes me like 2 hours or so. I'm not joking when I say that because I can see the energy difference in him. He just lays down. He's like satisfied. He's good to go. He's chill. He's relaxed. He's just hanging out. He just really, it does so much to him, especially with at first you're hooking them onto something so that they have to pull to get to there. They're pulling me to get there. So he has to like slow himself down that he can't quite get there as fast as he wants. And it's putting some sort of restriction in there. And that's where he starts to realize that we for sure are working in tune. And again, it's not building frustration, it's building excitement. It's building him to just say, oh, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what we want. But you see this dog, we just did, so he just been hanging out all day, and this dog looks like he just did some serious stuff on just going for a very, very simple walk. Sorry, this thing is acting like a butthead right now. And he gets extremely tired with doing something like this. And again, this isn't something that you got to do every single day. This isn't every day. You see this boy look like how he looks at the end of my walks when I go for a 2-3 hour walk. And I'm walking. I'm doing every day 8 to 14 miles with this boy walking. He looks like we just walked at least 8 miles right now. And all we did was 10 minutes of just having him search and looking for this chicken. And he didn't even go to the full route. It made me feel like I did a little extra work than I needed to do. But he didn't go the full route because at first he's like, I know where it's at, I'm gonna find it. But then he realized he couldn't quite find it. And he wasn't on board with on his own at first. So then he started using my assistance, which is tracking my footsteps, to be able to get to the point of finding it easier for himself. And again, this is something that just drives the excitement out of dogs. I mean, it just builds the excitement like no other to the dogs. The dogs are just like, what's up, man? You are the best. You are the greatest. You are the coolest. You are just absolutely amazing. And this is what I say is what I think of as when I'm understanding what work is with dogs. Dogs have this in them that it is just incredible. So a dog like this is just gonna go on and talk about a little bit of my goals when I saw what this dog was capable of doing with smelling out some stuff. And I was saying to myself, I just cannot go hungry with a dog like this because he can find what it is that I need to find, and I can take care of it in the end once he's able to find it. So if I want him, if we hungry, and we don't have no food, this boy, I can get him a scent of some deer, and I can say, go find me some deer in these woods. And this boy will drag me to go find some. And I'm like, this is a survival animal right here that could do some incredible things to make sure that everybody's still eating. And he can also not only just find some stuff, he can also make sure that other things stay away from the stuff that he is able to find. Because I can make sure that he understands he finds that little chicken there, no one else is coming to get it. no one else can come and take it from him until I can come and get it from him. So at first, of course, I wasn't able to just say easily take that from him because, I mean, in reality, I was scared of this dog. But nowadays, I can tell him to out and he'll drop it, and I can tell him to just hang out. But nowadays, I know all of his little behaviors that he does, so that when he is getting close, like super close to it, I know when he's super close. So then I can put him away, and then I can do what I need to do. So if I'm looking for some birds or something to be able to eat tonight, this dude can go out, he can go find it, and we can go ahead and get on mission to be able to make that happen. This is just stuff that I see when I'm looking at dogs, with how incredible that they are, and not just something so simple, especially if you got a dog like a German Shepherd. I know you more than likely, I don't know why, but most people get these dogs to like do some protection stuff where you feel safe with a dog like this. But at the end of the day, if you're not actually showing that dog what to do and how to like express that, you're creating havoc for your extreme chaos in your life, because that dog is going to start guarding and protecting in a very unhealthy manner. The same way with the dog sniffing out stuff, the dog is going to start to find things in a very, very unhealthy manner. And the dog is going to start to go extremely wild. That's why, unfortunately, most German Shepherds that I see, that's why most people are scared of this dog when they see him. Because I rarely see one that is just hanging out and relaxed on leash when I go out in public. I rarely see them. And when I do, I make it an effort for me to go walk and talk to that person and say, wow, you have a really, really nice dog. But most of them are absolutely crazy, because you have it in you of, I want to have that protective thing, but then you're not actually knowing how to teach or train your dog, show your dog, guide your dog how to express that. And the dog is not able to just get anything out. It is just going absolutely savage. And that's something that a lot of us should really be spending a little bit more time on, and with getting the excitement out of the dogs as opposed to the frustration out of the dogs. Because in reality, come on, you can take it, I don't care. The majority of training that we do, even for protection stuff, like I still have yet to see anyone training any sort of protection stuff or sport or anything without using frustration. It's primarily frustration. And when they're in that sense, they're just basically, like, at the end of the day, a non-trustworthy style dog that's kind of just always on edge, and it's like waiting for this game and waiting for something to kick off and waiting for something to happen. But when your dog is truly in tune with you because you're fulfilling its needs, you're getting its drives met, you don't need to teach it anything. The dog is going to do what it needs to do because it's inside of it to do when the time comes that it needs to do it, because it's going to know how to take action. And that's where, at the end of the day, a true protection dog is not the same as these sport dogs that they're doing and any of that stuff. And that's what a lot of people are looking for when they see a German Shepherd like this. But me just doing a simple game like this with him, he looks at me with, we're working together. We're together. He's like, dude, you're with me, I'm with you. And this is the work that this dog really enjoys. And you can call it a game because you can set it up to be like, you can say in your brain that it's a game, but to the dog, in the dog's world, this is work. And the dog loves it. The dog is just like, dude, you are amazing. You are awesome. And the dog is going to be able to get to the point, the dog just finally just settles down and it finally just relaxes. And the main thing that you want with doing any of this stuff with any of your dogs is to get your dog to be able to listen to you. And your dog is going to listen to you when you listen to it. When the dog is saying, hey, I got something that I need, that I got going on here. I got a desire in me that I need to fulfill. I got this energy in me that I need you to help me out with. And then that's when the dog's like, oh, you're listening to me. And then you say, yeah, man, I hear what you're saying. And then you give that dog that opportunity to be able to express that need. And then that's when the dog is going to look at you and say, oh, okay, well, I could listen to you now. Because the dogs, just my opinion, there's some stuff that I've been questioning if the dogs understand what no and yes and everything is. I believe that they do know what no is. And they know it based on, dang, dude, you're going deep. They know it based on the concept that they will listen to us when we're listening to them. But if we're expecting that they listen to us and we don't give a crap about anything about them, that's where the concept of more and more pressure is needed. That's why you absolutely have to have an e-collar on the dog to get it to come back to you. That's why you absolutely have to have a treat on you to get the dog to come anywhere near you. And that's why you have to keep doing that stuff for that dog to be able to keep getting into that sense. And this is the part right here. How many dogs don't chew? I believe that primarily every single dog on this planet likes to chew. And this is where, for me, I fulfill my dog's desires of being able to chew. They got bones. They got stuff. I mean, this is a whole cow last year that unfortunately passed away. No, it was this March. man, this guy was supposed to go to the processor. It was a little devastating to me. But nothing goes to waste out here. So he didn't make it, so I didn't get my food. Now the dogs have a crazy amount of bones to be able to chew on for when it is that they need to be able to chew on something. And this just gives them that opportunity to just get all that chew out, all that out. And nowadays, what do we do with German Shepherds and Malinois to get them to chew? We get them on bite sleeves, we get them on these things. And that never actually could like truly fulfills that inert, just this nature of chewing out of the dog. It's so foreign for them to just chew on some fabricy stuff. When you want the dog to chew, get them a bone. I mean, when I'm talking bones, not these little marrow bones that they sell at the stores. Don't get them any smoked or cured or cooked or none of that. Just a nice, raw, savage-looking bone. Just dirty-looking bone, and just let them chew on it. They're going to chew it, and then they're going to be like, okay, we're good. And again, this isn't stuff that I got to do every single day. This search right here, I can literally do this search that we just did today. This 11-minute search, one time, minimum every 2 weeks, and I let him chew on a bone for maybe once a week. I let him do that. But some of his dog food that I feed him, he's got to chew bones, so he kind of gets a little bit of experience of that every single day. But this is something that I do. I have him do a search like this twice a month, and he looks much better dog, much more chill dog, much more relaxed dog. And then I give him those bones, and he's just a much nicer dog. Just natural, real things to do with the dogs. The real work that the dogs just really want to be able to do. Not these weird foreign games, not this weird madness, but real work. And this here is something that I'm going to say, you do not need to be on no land to do what it is that you just see me do with this dog. And this is the part that I hear what a lot of people say, oh, you got space, you got land, this is why your dogs are nice. And that is far from true. That is far from true. The more that you do with your dog, that's what's going to give you a nicer dog. The more that you hang out with your dog, the more that you do like work with your dog, the more that you're engaging with your dog, that's what's going to give you a better dog. Because at the end of the day, people that live in apartment complexes have better dogs than people that live in neighborhoods, because they got to walk down 3 flights of stairs. It's unfortunate if you live on a 3rd floor, but you got to walk down 3 flights of stairs like 8 times a day to get your dog to go out to even just simply go potty. And that puts you to have to do more engagement as opposed to just like my house here. If you think that dogs just run free and run around and run all day, that is so unrealistic. That's movies. That is not real life. What's real life is the dogs are with us. I could leave my gate open, and where do my dogs sit? On the patio, because they're waiting for me to come and go do something with them. They're not just out here running and playing and going sporadic. That is fairy tale stuff, man. But we all get stuck with fairy tale stuff in our lives because of what it is that we're constantly watching on TV and in movies. The stuff is not real. What majority of movies are not real in real life, even when it is based on real stories. That's why they say it's based on something that was real. It's not all real. You got to put extra in there to make it seem to be something that it just isn't. So it's more entertaining to watch. Me having my dog out here doing the search, it's not as entertaining to me when he's on leash. When he's off leash, it's so fun. It's just it's the neatest thing, because this dude is like at almost a full sprint. And it's gonna be hard to video it because I can't really zoom or do anything. But if I could get like a camera on this dog, that'd be pretty cool to be able to see what he does when he's off leash and doing what we just did. This dude is in a sprint. Like, he is sprinting, he's running, he is going to each little checkpoint that I got. It is fascinating to watch. It is super fascinating. And with me, I'm not nervous about him like deviating, because he's on mission doing what it is that we're looking for. And he knows what I'm looking for. And it is something that is just, it is so fascinating to see. So it is, for me, at the same time, having fun with it, and him having fun with it. And this isn't something that I'm only able to do because of where I live. No, I could do this anywhere, because this is something that in reality, I'm always trying to come up and create just different little dog toys and dog games and dog things. And one thing that we need is a nice app to be able to have to go on a walk and be able to drop locations off of different things for him to sniff and search. And then the little phone vibrates when you're getting in range to get him to activate to go and find it. So that we could just have these little things to just let them go find, dang dude, you're chewing up your gums, to be able to go find items so that they can search it out in the middle of your walk. So you can have it set up so that you could just drop something and continue to keep on walking. When you come back for your next loop, the dog can sniff it out, find it, good job. And then that's where you can do your set obedience. Get them to sit before you pick it up. Get them to down before you pick it up. Get them to just stand and wait and stare at it. Get them to bark at it. Get them to do something. Get them to do anything, so that they're able to just get that energy out. The sniff stuff with these dogs is the #1 way to get majority of your energy out. Running, biting, chewing. The dogs, especially, this is the part that you're gonna start we're good, Kahi. This is the part that you're gonna start to stumble and fumble, is when your dog starts to just chase all day, the one thing that starts to happen to the dog is the dog will start to build stamina and build endurance. And then one day, the first day it was 10 minutes, the next day and next week it's going to get longer and longer and more. And that's where your dog is going to get into being a high athlete. And if you're not able to keep up with that, then you just got to keep. I don't know, man, it gets confusing. But when they're using these noses and they're running, it's almost like every day is almost the same. That they don't really get like where they could just, now that starts with 11 minutes he's tired, now it needs to be like 5 hours that he gets tired. But when they're just running and chasing, they get to that situation that they can go, man. They can go. Like my border collie, he can go. And then he stops for a little bit of a break, and then he just gets going and he gets going. Because this is how this dog right here is as well. If I only, because I've done this many a times, if I only just walk him and I don't let him smell anything, we're just walking, he's zoned in, pulling into this harness, and he's just walking. I just can't get this dog tired. But when I let him smell and sniff, this dude is exhausted. He's just exhausted, absolutely exhausted. Because the first thing I used to do is set it up and start with obedience stuff and having him doing heel and weights and downs and certain things like that. And that didn't get him nowhere different. It was just the same. But when I started letting him smell, this dude, he just absolutely just zones completely out. He's just tired on tired. He's just super chill, and he's completely satisfied. And then that's where each day, that's why I can't really work this dog too much. He has to have a day, sometimes 2, sometimes even 3 days a week off, because he's just doing too much. He can't handle that. He can't quite keep up with it. But when I just let him run, or not really even run, but we're just walking, we're just like doing a walk like this dude can do this literally 24/7. That's just what dogs are capable of doing. And that's where we're not really working the dog's needs, the drives. We're just getting them moving. But if we're working the dogs the way that they are intended to be worked, they will get relaxed, they will tire down, and they will look at you with this utmost high level of respect all I can say is the dog just looks back at you. It's just like, thank you. It's just like, I appreciate you doing that for me, because I was really struggling. Why are you trying to go back there? You gonna hang out with the donkey? Come on, let's go back. Come on. And it's something that, again, this is very simple, very simple. A lot of the play is complicated. You get tired, you get exhausted, you're getting hot and sweaty, you're getting bit sometimes, you're getting a little rowdy, getting frustrated yourself because the dog is getting frustrated. And a lot of that is hard. And for me, I'm all about simple, man. I want to keep things simple. And this here is something that is just very simple. And I hope that someone could just get a little inspiration on just wanting to do a little bit more. A little bit more in the way that is what I'm going to say is natural to the dog, what is normal to the dog, not some weird, foreign, just strange stuff that the dogs are only performing because they are frustrated and not because they're actually happy in any sort of way. And this dog here is just happy as all heck can be right now. This is how I want my dogs to look when we're just, what someone would say is playing, when we're just playing and having fun. I want my dog to just be like super happy, super chill, no, not pushy, not demanding on me, not mean, not rough, not crazy, not wild, just hanging out. Thank you. And this here is Kahi. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, Kahi. He's a nice dog.